Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Jim Duggin. I'm here sitting here with Noble Bains, and as you can see, I'm in different clothes than I was in the first video. Unfortunately, I may or may not have lost some footage from the original YEG Sole episode we shot with Noble, so I've decided to come here and sit down, and we're going to redo the sit down part because we had all the footage that we needed from the first part, and that's up, and I'll link you guys below. You'll be able to see that, and you can check that out for yourselves. This is the sit down. If you haven't seen the seasons before, if you haven't seen previous episodes, what we do is we sit down with a local sneaker enthusiast after looking through his extensive collection or parts of his extensive collection, and then we sit down with them, we ask them a few questions about a few select pairs of shoes, and they tell us exactly why these shoes are a little bit more important to them than the rest of the shoes that they own. So why don't we get started?
Okay, I'll take it back to when I first started. Couldn't afford them because, you know, growing up, family never had money, and I just a kid. But what got me into sneakers was the original Superstars here. They've been worn. This is almost 10 years old, and I try to keep it best condition. I mean, you can always, they're a cheap shoe, but it's to actually care for them is the thing. And Cortez, you know, being a Cali kid, just having these around. I'm not saying everyone in Cali wore them, right? Because they go crazy with bands and stuff over there too, but
no way.
It was just growing up seeing these two shoes like during the whole breakdancing hip hop era, where it was just the flyest thing to ever just wear. To me, it's one of the best classic silhouettes of a shoe. This shoe always threw me off, but it was just one of those, like, do I like them or not? And if I keep questioning it, then maybe I actually do.
I feel the same way.
It was like a low-key hate, but at the same time, I knew I loved them.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how much. But it was an instant, like, so this is what originally got me into sneakers, so this shoe.
Just a side note, the homie Noble here is actually a Cali export, and he's grown up in YG for the majority of his life.
We got the Stan Smith Pharrell collab. As we mentioned it before, the leather that was on this, it's high quality because it's the exact same leather that they use for the Raf Simons.
Yeah, it hangs with the Raf Simons.
But it's cheaper than the Raf Simons though. Like now you're basically just paying for the name.
Yeah.
And I have this weird feeling that the reason why Pharrell works with the Stan Smith more than any other shoe is because the ice cream shoes that he had, it's like the exact same silhouette, not as bulky, just the way it is, and it's just easier for him to work with. It's like home for him almost. Like he knows what to do with it.
Yeah, I would go so far as to think it must be maybe his favorite shoe.
Yeah, with the insides, like
there's all the Reiki points on the bottom of your feet on the inside. Knowing the homie Pharrell, he's kind of a zen.
And like, you know, Pharrell being iconic to me, so it's kind of like whatever collab that he does, it's one of those mentalities. Like I gotta have it. It's an idol. He's always been like the guy who owned the radio stations with Chad Hugo.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's iconic for me to see. Like he's top 5 of who I follow in fashion too. Yeah,
there's been points where he's easily as influential as Kanye or anybody else.
Yeah,
or more.
Maybe he's not as crazy, but well, I mean, he took it. I don't want to say he took it far with that hat, but it works for him.
Yeah, he killed that Smokey the Bear look.
So, and then plus, just an all red shoe, not a Red October shoe, but just how they did this. Growing up, you know, I wouldn't say growing up, but when they released the LeBron 9, LeBron Palmer, I didn't realize how rare the shoe was, but like I think it's the sample. They have a reverse and then they have just the regular, but either way I could never afford it. And knowing me, I love SBs, and the guy who customized these for me, Fuda Customs, he was only making 10 pairs, and I kept emailing him like I would love a pair. And being a guy who loves sneakers, having your first ever custom shoe, it's pretty cool to have. And I think he nailed it. But now that I have the LeBron 12s, LeBron Palmer, it's nothing completely special to me. I do love it, but just wanted to show the comparison of like how different it was. That exclusivity, like even though I'm not a big fan of the word, but just to have only 10 pairs made by that artist, it's no different than owning a painting, 1 of 100 or something, just to have it. I know we put that like hype beast mentality thing where we're kind of like, oh, I gotta have it because it's exclusive, but it's like, and saying that shoes is art at the end of the day is just like.
And it's kind of a rite of passage, like you said. I haven't gotten a custom yet, and I haven't gotten an ID, and I've always felt that as a sneaker enthusiast. Like, I do want at least one ID, I do want at least one custom. You know, it's kind of the same reason why I want you want a nice pair of these, or you want a nice pair of those. The ID and customs have become synonymous. Classics.
Classic. So, in one hand, I have 2009, and then 2011. And the reason why these mean a lot to me is because in 2009 when I got a pair, I lost my job in 2010, or going into 2010, and I had no real income, and then got to the point where I was actually selling some shoes. And knowing that this was my first 3, I didn't want to sell it. But the going rate for these now, I didn't realize it's a lot, but I sold it for like under retail. At that time, I don't remember, but yeah, selling actually hurt. And then when I found out they were selling it back in 2011, it wasn't the same feeling. Like I walked in, I bought it. Like now we used to have those lineups, and now we're doing tickets. You know, that's a different discussion, but yeah. But yeah, just walking in to grab the shoes, it was blessed, but it just wasn't the same. And then because I didn't know the quality difference because I only had the shoe for so long. It was dead stock, and then when I was telling them, I could never tell the difference. And then telling my story to Robin, shout out to Robin, he had an 09 pair, and he gave me it. And it was the most blessed feeling, and as I looked at both of them, the 09 is a way better quality than the 2011.
Yeah, you can noticeably see it from here.
You can noticeably, yeah. Just from the back, the leather on the tongue, you could tell by the elephant print how it's perforated right in the back.
Where honestly, I have to let you guys know that even I'm feeling a little bit bad right now that I wasn't picking enough sneakers up in 2009. That the quality is remarkably different.
Jumping into the release in 2014, it's been now what, almost 10 years since this last release.
Yeah.
The lows.
2005, 2006.
2005, and like in 05, I mean, I didn't have money, right? To be someone in high school to have all that nice money, like you have a crazy job after school, or you have rich parents.
Yeah, same way.
But yeah, so if 05 I couldn't get those, and when they said they're releasing the highs, the city kind of got wild for a time about these, and I kept quiet just because it's just the talks. So I'm like, I'm getting these pairs.
I remember this.
I'm not dropping $400 or $500 for these. I'm gonna stand in line, and stood in line at 6 in the morning. The day before.
Yeah.
So it was like a 26, 28 hour wait in February, like minus 30 some. But at the end of the day, we got our shoes. I wear mine. They haven't been really washed. It's just dirt. It does come off by some Jason Marks.
Onto the Yeezys.
So the recent release of these, another February drop, but in 2015. I am a Kanye fan. Always been. None of these like Yeezys fans. Not the beautiful dark. The watch throne. Like straight when this guy was making music before he was signed to Rockefeller. And this is, to me, is not a sneakerhead sneaker shoe. This is this is futuristic. I know he gets mad hate, but he knows what he's doing. He's a creative genius. It was a raffle, and my name didn't get called up. It was actually someone else in the sneaker group. Bowie, thank you. His name came up.
Shouts to Bowie.
He said he was going to help, and he got the call, and words can't describe that moment. What he did was, I don't think I could ever completely repay him for the fact I was losing my mind to get these. But yeah, they do fit a size smaller, so we went with that. And I do wear them because I already have my denim bleed into them.
I was looking at that. You go hard in the paint. These things have been more.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep wearing them because I try not to sell my sneakers because, I mean, I buy them to wear. Yeah, that's another conversation. It was June 5th, June 6th, 2008. These dropped. It was the third drop. And I did get the first one, the Zen grade. I lined up for that. Shout out to Foosh for having these. The first one was not too bad because there was no complete hype. I believe 2008, I can't really speak on everyone because I don't know a lot of sneakerheads at that time, but there was no complete hype. And
especially up here.
Yeah, and they knew it was dropping, so yeah, I knew to line up. I had two other guys in the back, and everyone's had the different size. It all actually fit, except one guy had the exact same size as me. And I'm a real humble, nice dude, and I said, you know what, man, after this conversation, this night we've had, no pause. I said you could take the size, and I'll take the one size up. And they fit too big, and then I'm like, oh no. So it was hard for me to wear, just knowing that there's so much room. So it was going to get glass case, or it was going to go to. And I've had this debate with myself. If I wasn't going to wear them, only one person else would. Jason Downey, and it was meant for him. It was meant for him. But if he wasn't going to take it, it was just going to get glass case, because I just don't trust people to just take my shoes because they're just going to flip it after.
Word.
But this one, they said first person in line is guaranteed their pair from second to last. It was a raffle. I couldn't let that opportunity get away, so I remember we were supposed to go out that night to a bar. Don't matter what bar it was, but I said, if there's no one standing outside of Foosh, I am jumping out of this vehicle. As we drove by, there was no one there. I jumped out of that vehicle. I wasn't driving, but I jumped out. It was still a green light. I was dodging like 2 or 3 cars that could have hit me. And I just walked in and I talked to them. And I was like, hey, I know you guys are closed in like an hour, but I'm standing outside. I'm camping out for this shoot. They gave me 3 Red Bulls, a stool, and this was before it was the Rack. It was some other bar, but I was being harassed all night. Some people thought I was homeless in a stool. Like, I was wearing the freshest clothes that night, man.
For everybody that's not from YEG or Edmonton too, we have this area of our city called White Ave. So it's like this the sneaker store Foosh that you see a lot of the Jordan reviews that we do from is right beside these really obnoxious bars sometimes. So when you're lining up for sneakers, you got to deal with drunks harassing you all night. Sneakers traditionally drop on Saturdays often, right?
Yeah, it just cops, you know, saying I was loitering. It was just a headache, and then hectic just all night. Except one cop, he told his partner, just no, it's good. He's like, Lima, I know the culture. The man was collecting Jordans at a young age too. He was showing me how he had metallic 5s, Bred 4s. So he knew what the culture was. So he's like, nah, he's good. He's not causing trouble. Like, let him do his thing. Just knowing that I had my pair. I was
secured. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a big lineup after, but it's like I wasn't sleeping on this. So I've been about the lineups. Like this is a 2008 drop.
Yeah.
And I didn't on dead stock these finally until last year in Paris. I just thought if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it big because this shoe was made up of 3 pairs of shoes, as you can tell, just because Nike had the Air Salt, the midsole. But Kanye loved the Jordan 3, but they couldn't put the Jordan 3 just because of it saying Jordan. I know back then it was Nike, but they all switched it now.
Yeah.
But the Air Salt had the exact same sole, and they said, hey, let's just do that. There's a little bit of vape in here. There is a Japanese shoe with the strap that he made, but also just having the eyelets right here, it was the same style as the shoe that Force Command on White Man Can't Jump that he
the Air Force.
Yeah, it's the exact same what they did here. So he did take the ideas from other shoes, but he created one hell of a shoe. And the last shoe I got are the Kobe 9 Elite IDs that I made. And I based it under my my clothing brand that I've had for 3 years. And so I wanted to make a shoe that represented me, my style, which anyone should. And it was, if any shoe you wanted to like ID, it would have been this shoe out of all shoes.
Yeah, it was this shoe to ID. In fact, so much that there was only 3 colorways I think dropped of those 3 or 4.
About 4 possibly, and then you have like the HTMs, which you are ridiculous. Why not jump on the opportunity? Having it say gray sole on the ends of it represented what I was about. I should have did more, but it's so hard when you don't have when Nike doesn't ship to Canada. You got to use a US Connect, and you just gotta wait and wait.
Yeah, we're basically proxying our IDs up here. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, now you can actually, if you buy the highs or whatever it is, you can cut them down low. But I think just to put your ideas on a shoe, I think it means more. And I'm blessed that they had this, and I got it done before Nike took away the 9s, now moved on to the 10s. No disrespect to the 10s or anything. It's just right when I saw what the 10s looked like, it was just my first reaction was I need to ID before it's gone.
Yeah.
Because I knew they weren't making any more of these.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So yeah, this is one of the best shoes I own, hands down.
Yeah. Just nobody else has it.
That's the beauty of it. One of one, and I mean unless you color the exact same thing, but
still won't say gray sole.
No, it better not.
Alright, well I want to thank you for being on the show today. I really appreciate this. I really appreciate you allowing us to come back here and film again after we may or may not have lost some footage. I'm not entirely sure. Will we be seeing you in Sole Good?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll be there. I got the Tuna Sub group there.
Yeah, the Tuna Sub World Order. What's up? The TW.
So I'll be there with all the homies. It's gonna be a good time. I mean, you know, converse with some new people and some old people. It's always a cool like get together, all this kind of stuff.
Word, yeah. We don't have enough of them, I think, so I'm looking forward to all of us being able to get together.
It's growing.
Yeah.
It is growing. Better for worse, all I know it is growing.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. You can't stop it now. Alright, well hopefully I'll see all you guys at Sole Good as well. And thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I'm Jim Duggin, your host. We've been sitting here with Noble Bains talking sneakers. We got Patricc Cees behind the camera. Ke Wang's here with us as well, as always. Thanks for watching. Check out KorangeMarket.com, Cannibalkings.com, and all that. Peace.